The Next Level Racing GT Elite is the company's newest mid-range aluminum profile cockpit, looking to bridge the gap between ultimate rigidity and affordability when it comes to sim racing cockpits. They've kindly sent me one for review, and today I'll be putting it to the test. Is the Next Level Racing GT Elite really the ultimate mid-range cockpit? Let's find out. Unlike the FGT Elite, which can transform to a variety of driving positions, the GT Elite is solely intended to serve as a GT cockpit. It's finished in black anodized aluminum and is offered without a seat to keep costs down and give you more leeway when it comes to choosing what you want to sit on. That being said, Next Level Racing have also introduced the ERS1 Elite recline seat along with this cockpit, which you can purchase separately for $400. I don't have that seat for this review, but I am looking to make a separate review on it later down the line. The GT Elite comes standard with all the extras you could need. This includes their brand new seat slider system, seat brackets, a shifter and handbrake plate, a butt kicker adapter, cable management clips, and even a little toolkit holder to keep everything organized. Of course, it also comes with everything needed to assemble this cockpit, along with physical user manuals and a nice little sticker sheet. The vertical aluminum profile beams that hold the wheel plate are purposefully tall to allow for a wider range of driving positions and to comfortably sit drivers of all heights. That being said, I did find the beams getting slightly in the way of my field of view when on track. Being an aluminum profile cockpit, there are of course near endless ways to adjust and customize everything to fit your needs, but more on that soon. As you would expect, the GT Elite will also be compatible with nearly all wheels, pedals, shifters, and handbrakes, etc., and it's essentially universal in that regard. As previously mentioned, the GT Elite can only suit a GT driving position. However, if later down the line you decide that you want more options when it comes to driving positions, the $150 Elite Formula Upgrade Kit will essentially transform this cockpit into an FGT Elite, where you can change between a vast array of driving positions. Finally, it can also be compatible with Next Level Racing's motion systems, although you will need to purchase the motion adapter kit separately for $150. Unlike companies like Track Racer, Next Level Racing isn't really known for its extensive offerings when it comes to sim racing accessories for their products. That being said, they have rolled out a few notable ones compatible with the GT Elite. This includes both the aforementioned Formula Upgrade Kit and Motion Adapter Kit, which both retail for $150 each, a monitor mount which hooks up directly onto the GT Elite, a tablet or button box mount, a keyboard and mouse tray, a side and front direct drive mount adapter, and a few other things you can find on their website. Of course, all of those things are purchased separately, but it's cool that we have those options available. In terms of seats, Next Level Racing currently only has two which will be compatible with the GT Elite. Those are the brand new ERS1 recline seat and the ES1 bucket seat, which retails for $50 more at $450. Other seats made by Next Level Racing, such as the GT Track or GT Ultimate seat, will not be compatible. That being said, you can choose to go with racing seats made by other companies so long as they can be bolted onto the mounting brackets of this cockpit. Regarding the ES1 seat I'm currently using, please note that I will not be speaking about it in this particular review as it doesn't really pertain to the GT Elite. I will however be making a separate review on it along with the ERS1 seat in a future video. Next Level Racing has been placing significant emphasis on the pricing and mid-range accessibility of the GT Elite. The version I have, being the wheel plate edition, retails for $700, and as with I believe all of their products, comes with free shipping. The GT Elite front and side mount edition retails for $800, and the only thing different there is the wheel mounting system. Remember, these prices are only for the chassis itself, so assuming you spend around $200 to $400 on a proper seat, you will be spending around $1,000. That being said, you do get what you pay for. For starters, Next Level Racing are the masters when it comes to product packaging. Everything arrives in a single box with all the parts separate from each other and without a single scratch or dent. Of course, I forgot to actually record this because I was too excited to put everything together, but it's seriously impressive how they managed to pack everything together in such a compact way. This also does a lot of other things such as reduce waste, time spent unboxing and unwrapping, and ensures everything arrives flawlessly. The build process is facilitated with straightforward and clear instructions, an assembly video, and physical instructions manual. In essence, no trouble assembling the GT Elite whatsoever, and once it is assembled, you recognize how good looking this cockpit is. Its black anodized finish gives it a stealthy, somewhat low-key appearance. Moreover, Next Level Racing have placed special attention with regard to the attention to detail of this rig. Some of the most notable for me are the branded end caps, the crisp white GT Elite logo, the included butt kicker mount, the branded levers to adjust the seat, and the Allen key holder. Small details like this might not seem significant, but really give a sense of the quality and attention placed on the rig. The entire footprint of the GT Elite is also a lot smaller than I expected. You can find all of the details regarding its dimensions on their website, but in total the length is about 4 foot 8 inches and the width is about 2 feet 7 inches. For a full-blown aluminum extrusion cockpit, this is certainly on the smaller side. Of course then, being an aluminum profile rig, I mean, it's adjustable in near endless ways. Everything from the height, the length, or even the angle of the shifter mount to the angle of the pedals, you won't have any issues adjusting this cockpit to fit your needs. The only two things this cockpit does not support are inverting your pedals or changing seating positions. The aluminum profile extrusions will also facilitate customization. Whether you want to attach things made by other companies or DIY something onto it yourself, again, you won't have a problem. One of the most notable positives about the GT Elite is that you can future-proof it with the optional accessories. The only thing this cockpit is really missing is the ability to interchange seating positions, but if you purchase the Formula Upgrade Kit later down the line, well, you can suddenly do that too. Finally, in terms of rigidity and sturdiness, here's what I will say. I did not find any type of flex at any point throughout my entire time using this cockpit, no matter how hard I was pushing it to the limit. However, after looking back at the footage, you can actually see some flex on the pedal mount and on the seat when I was trying my absolute hardest to make it flex. Granted, I was literally stomping on my stiffest pedal set and yanking on everything with the intention of practically breaking it, so for 99.99% of people, like, no, let's be honest here, there really is no notable flex, and for the small amounts of it that becomes visible when driving like a maniac, it's not like it's really affecting your in-game performance anyway. As with everything in life, not everything about the GT Elite is perfect, and I do have a few things I've come to not like about it. For starters, the Next Level Racing GT Elite is a fingerprint magnet, and when trying to make everything look pretty while filming, it really did become a bit of a nightmare. Granted, this is probably relevant for most of you out there, but just note that if you want it to look pristine, maybe wear gloves while assembling it and making adjustments. As stated previously, the large vertical beams that hold up the wheel plate do slightly get in the way of your field of view, or at least it did in my situation. These beams are made like this to accommodate people of all heights, but that is unfortunately a drawback that I did notice. Similar to what I said about the Tier 120 a few months back, the anodized finish of this cockpit is also very prone to scratching, so definitely be careful when making adjustments or when assembling everything together, because one wrong move is all it takes. One of the most heavily emphasized parts of the GT Elite is its seat sliding mechanism. Unlike the traditional seat sliders, which are prone to flex when applying large amounts of pressure onto the brake, the GT Elite takes a different approach where the seat is attached directly onto the chassis via two aluminum profile beams. Although this does eliminate almost all types of flex, it does make it less convenient for adjusting the distance of the seat back and forth. Whereas you could previously reach down, pull a lever, and slide the seat back and forth in seconds, now you must loosen 4 individual levers, move the seat, and retighten each one. It's still not a massive deal, but it certainly is less convenient. Again, as previously mentioned, there is nearly no flex on this rig, but when pushing everything to the absolute limit like a maniac, you could notice some. It's still not something I would even consider relevant, but it's something which I do have to mention. Though the $700 price tag may seem very attractive to some, the prices Next Level Racing charges for their seat add-ons is certainly a negative. Both Next Level Racing compatible seats retail for $400 and $450, which immediately skyrockets the final price of this cockpit. I mean, the seat alone costs more than half of the rig itself, which I'm sorry, but to me just makes no sense. So although the chassis itself is competitively priced, you're definitely better off looking for a third-party compatible seat if you're on a tight budget with the GT Elite. My final complaint, and this could be a huge negative for those already invested in the Next Level Racing ecosystem, is that this cockpit will not fit into the original freestanding triple monitor stand offered by Next Level Racing. This is the one I have, and it's the reason why I'm so far back from the screens throughout this entire video. It's because no matter what I tried to do, the GT Elite did not properly fit into the original triple monitor stand. The good news is that this is why they've released the Elite monitor stand lineup. but it kinda screws over users who purchased the original one. In conclusion, I truly have enjoyed my experience with the GT Elite, and when it comes to outright performance and versatility, it passes with flying colors. Next Level Racing have introduced a competitively priced, good-looking, and versatile aluminum profile cockpit onto the sim racing market. For what it offers and everything it comes with, the price is fair, but you will have to keep an eye out when it comes to the seat, especially if you're tight on budget. As always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.